Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marty.
And this is the man of the hour, Leo Rush.
It was all over BostonWrestling.com and our social media. But Leo, brother, they got to check out some of this merch.
They got to.
Check it out, fans, right now, available on eBay.
As the Demon, he became the first WWE Universal Champion at SummerSlam 2016. Here's your chance to own this limited edition collector's autographed art print, personally signed by Finn Balor, one of only 50 made, direct from our friends at WWE. Also signed by original artist Rob Schamberger. Help keep wrestling legends working. Get this awesome collectible for your wrestling collection now. Boston Wrestling Sports and the MWF explodes into a new year of unknown with professional wrestling content galore, and we need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after we review the previous night's Monday Night Raw, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with the unpredictable WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights after WWE, NXT, and AEW at 10 p.m., you never know who's going to show up on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey through the 80s and 90s on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday nights after the lights go down at the Thunderdome on SmackDown, it's John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. If you want early, ad-free access to all of our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and to help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, you just sat through 3 hours of WWE Monday Night Raw. If you're watching the live premiere, let us know what you thought in the premiere box. I am very proud to be joined by the man on a mission himself, the man that in the spring of 1994 guided Men on a Mission to World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship Gold, the man that almost blew the roof off of the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, at WrestleMania 10. I could only be talking about Oscar here on Wrestling Insider Monday Night Mission. Oscar, how is the world treating you, my friend?
The world's treating me all right. Been skipping around, going up and down the East Coast, on my way back from Atlanta to Indiana to start packing up, baby, to go back to Atlanta for real.
You found a place in Atlanta?
Found a place in Atlanta, yeah.
In Atlanta itself or in the burbs? Or?
No, in the burbs. Ain't nobody going to Atlanta. We going to the burbs.
Oh, I don't know about that. We just had our good friend Demolition Axe, Bill Eadie, with us for 2 days this weekend. He flew right into Atlanta probably as you were leaving. Are you excited about this move?
Yeah, no, I am excited. I'm excited about the better weather, better living conditions, a really, really, really sleek apartment in a really, really nice industrious neighborhood with a lot of restaurants and businesses. You know, it's like George and Wheezy. We moving on up.
Moving on up, moving on up. We have to kind of call it the Monday Night Move, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, is Mimi still going to be doing hair down in Hot Atlanta?
She was just talking to a guy at the Y.
At the Y?
Yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
They do haircuts at the Y?
This particular Y is state of the art.
Really?
I mean, they got gyms, of course. They got a couple of lap pools, a water park for the kids.
A water park?
A water park.
A water park. Sign me up.
A restaurant and a juice bar, a hair and nail salon. I don't know what all else they got, but yeah, she was talking to the general manager, and he said when she settled into her plans that he would take a meeting with her and they would actually discuss her coming in doing hair.
Wow. Well, at least I know now I have more friends in down in Atlanta when I come to visit, maybe taking an Atlanta Braves game and talk to some of the great legends that are in the area. Now you're down there in Atlanta. The list continues to grow and grow.
Yeah, no, you definitely better look me up.
You're in for a hot summer, but I think next winter you're going to be extremely happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be ecstatic. Having cookouts in December, I'm looking forward to it. Because really, to be honest with you, I'm tired of these Midwest winters. The snow up to your knees, and then in that Chicago, that particular area, the winds whip so bad the cable go out.
Right. You don't want to lose your TV.
Yeah, it's more than a notion, but
well, Atlanta,
I think better weather's going to be just the beginning of good things. Yeah, it's the tip of the iceberg of good things to come down there.
Well, Atlanta's also known for its gentlemen's club. Do you think maybe you'll be able to find some hot prospects for Reese's Pieces in Las Vegas for when that opens?
It's funny that you brought him up. The Pieces must be really having him busy. I've been trying to call the Reese to the Pieces all week and have not gotten a hold of him because I wanted to talk to him about CAC. I just heard from him just now, right before you called. He sent me an email. And, I mean, everything with him is, I love the guy, but he's always got such a somber black hole tone. I don't know if I'm going to make CAC. I'm transitioning to pre-pandemic conditions with the job. And oh, God.
I'm just worried that maybe in some closets in San Diego, you may have the Monica Lewinsky situation where there could be some DNA on these Reese's Pieces.
Well, I would hope not. He's too good of a guy for that.
He's very classy.
He's a class act.
He is. He's a class act. He wouldn't let it hit the dress.
Nah, no.
Well, Oscar, what is going on in the world of professional wrestling since we last spoke? A lot of news breaking on one of my least favorite people in the industry, which has me thrilled. But I'll let you take the baton, brother. It is the Monday Night Mission.
Well, first we got to talk about a guy that you spent some time with. Velveteen Dream,
yes.
Patrick Clark got released.
I wish WWE Talent Relations listened to me about that piece of garbage. They should have never hired him to begin with. Then they would have never found themselves in this position where they had to get rid of him after they invested so much time and money on TV on the Velveteen Dream.
Well, see, okay. Now, here's where it gets a little dicey. Okay, so he had those allegations. According to my sources, WWE did an investigation and found him innocent. But then he got took off TV anyway. And I can be the first to tell you the reason. You can commit murder. You can a terrorist act and find yourself over time be forgiven like it never happened. Pete Rose will eventually get in the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's taken some time, of course, but eventually he's going to get in. But when it comes down to sex allegations, especially involving minors, guilty or innocent in the court of law, guilty or innocent in investigations, that stink stays on you what it seems forever. And no matter, even if you're innocent, nobody wants to have nothing to do with you.
Well, I mean, that's the way of the world right now. I mean, there were a lot of allegations against Velveteen Dream. And I want to say this, as much as I disdain the human being Patrick Clark, if he is innocent of those charges, it's a shame that he had to have his name dragged through the mud like that. That is unfortunate. The only problem is, aside from those allegations of him sending nude photos to teenage boys, he's also just genuinely an asshole that a lot of people didn't like to work with. I know when he first went to the Performance Center, a lot of my friends that were training there at the time, they heard the story about the fallout that we had and how he lied to WWE Talent Relations the day the walls at this studio shook with the phone conversation that Patrick and I had. And they made life very difficult for him. But he didn't learn from that, which should have been a humbling process, almost, I don't know if I want to say hazing, but an attempted attitude adjustment. And he just continued to be an asshole. No one wanted him around. No one
what
really
you gotta
liked him.
do is, right now, you got to refresh my and the fans' memory as to what happened with the phone call between you and him, because I don't know about how y'all fell out.
Well, we had Patrick here in the studio for a very in-depth studio shoot interview. It went great. We had
I remember that.
Live events in the fall of 2015 that were coming up. And as we were approaching those events, my spies told me that WWE had signed him to a developmental deal. And in most cases, in situations where you actually treat someone with respect, you inform the individual and you try and come up with a way to work out the date. I reached where Patrick ignored my calls and texts. I decided to reach out to Talent Relations themselves. I said, I heard about Patrick Locke, and they said to me, who is Patrick Locke? I had to explain to them the situation, his background, and Tough Enough. It led to a series of phone calls that day. They said they were going to contact him. And then that asshole had the audacity, not knowing the friendships that I had in the WWE Talent Relations office, he lied saying that he never was booked on the shows to begin with. And I was irate. Then, I don't want to name certain names in the office, but it was suggested to him to try and return the transportation money for the events. And I said to him, you know what? It has nothing to do with transportation money. It has to do with you being a professional wrestler. And then he started weeping like a bitch, whining and crying, saying, am I saying right? Yeah, you saying right now that I do not owe you any money for any transportation whatsoever? Can I record this and play this for WWE? I said, yes, you can record it and play it for WWE. I'm happy to email WWE as soon as the phone conversation is over that I don't care about transportation money. I care about you being a professional. And that's where it fell up. And then he blocked me on his phone, and he blocked me on Facebook like the bitch he is. And I don't know, maybe he was busy perhaps looking for teenage boys. I don't know. I don't know that to be true or false. I can only go by what I've read on social media. But if he is innocent of approaching these teenage boys with impure thoughts, I think that's too bad. I don't think anyone should be besmirched like that. But if he is guilty of it, he should be castrated. We should have Marty Jannetty throw him in the Chattahoochee River like he did the other guy.
Okay, well, like I said, I can't speak to his guilt or his innocence. But like I said, once you get that stigma on you, once you're accused of it, it's really, really, really difficult to be able to move away from that situation. But anyway, the point is,
he's genuinely an asshole to be. Aside from that,
well,
even if he's 100% innocent of these allegations with the teenage boys sending the dick pics and so on, that still doesn't eliminate the fact that he sucks as a human being.
Well, I'm pretty sure that all of that factored into his release. All I could do is wish him the best, because I'm on your side, but he never did nothing to me personally. I'm sorry for everybody that got released. I'm still aggravated about Samoa Joe, because I don't understand that at all. As an in-ring performer or a commentating talent, why he got the boot. But,
the Samoa Joe one was disappointing. This is a guy that could go on to main event in any promotion in the country or even the world about now if he's concussion-free. But, with Patrick, it is a shame. They developed that Velveteen Dream gimmick. I'll give him credit where credit is due. He had great charisma. He had great color for it. I don't think his work was very crisp. I think he threw some of the worst-looking punches in professional wrestling, but he was really putting that gimmick together to the point where the fans were into it. But whether it be his personal attitude or these photos that were leaked or sent or deliberately, however it may be, you know what? It looks like the dream is over, baby. He woke up.
Yeah,
He got a cold shower when he got that call from 203-352 in Stamford, Connecticut.
The dream got to end for most of us at some point. Anyway, it's how the dream ends. That's the big,
Yeah, but at 25 years old, there is a guy, if he kept his head on straight, whether he was sending out the nude pictures or not to these teenage boys, there is someone that should have had, you'd think, if he could have been a humble person and contributed in a positive way, someone that could have had a very, very long run in that company.
Yeah, no, I mean, he could have because, like you said, the Velveteen Dream gimmick, was shaping up to be something. And he could have had some pretty good runs in NXT and had it escalated. He even could have carried that up to the main roster had he kept his head on straight. I'll put it like that because I say that because, I blame his success and demise all on him by himself.
Well, maybe the problem was he was worried about sending out pictures of his head, but that's a different story for a different time, I guess.
Anyway,
he was thinking with the wrong head, Oscar. Maybe.
Okay, all right, Dan, enough.
All right. Hopefully, David Reese didn't bring this up when he met with Joe Biden last fall.
Okay, David Reese, he can't do nothing. All right, switching gears. Now, your good friend Dreamy Mimi has become very, very enamored with the Biography series that's on A&E right now. We watched the one about the Ultimate Warrior last night.
And how was that? I didn't get a chance to see it.
Here's my burning question to you.
All right.
It was really, really in-depth and they are pretty factual. They're pretty factual with the storyline and telling of the biography, of the boys. I'm really impressed by that. But this is my question that I want to ask you because this is a burning thing.
All right, burn away, baby. What do we got?
Come WrestleMania 8, it was WrestleMania 8 where Warrior went against Hogan.
No,
correct?
That was WrestleMania 6.
WrestleMania 6, I'm sorry, okay. At the time in WrestleMania 6, when Hogan stared down Warrior in that ring, in your opinion, was Warrior just as big as Hogan?
No. But I'll say this, and this was April of 90, so I would have been 9 years old at the time. I knew that Warrior was going to get the belt. The prime reason being, on the cover of that month's WWF magazine, they had the cover of, I think it was like the Canadian mountains. They had the picture of Hulk Hogan ripping the shirt, but they had the logo of the Ultimate Warrior's face paint, bigger than Hogan. And there was something about me on the inside that said, you know what? Hogan's losing at WrestleMania, as much as I was a Hogan guy. Did they do a good job building up Ultimate Warrior? Absolutely. I mean, look at Andre the Giant did more jobs in his entire career as he did to put over Ultimate Warrior in those final months of 1989 when they were doing 30-second squash matches around the house show loop every night to try and get him ready for that prime spot. I think the biggest way WWE failed Warrior was that they didn't have anybody ready for him to put in a big position to challenge him for the title once he won it. I mean, his first main feud after WrestleMania 6 was with Ravishing Rick Rude, who he just feuded with for the Intercontinental title throughout 1989. It wasn't anything new. It wasn't anything fresh. There were very few heel opponents that were built up well. I mean, you could look at Mr. Perfect. He had a quote-unquote undefeated streak, at least on television. He did a job at WrestleMania 6. Bad News Brown is someone that perhaps could have been a hot heel that was built up for Warrior to feud with. He did a job. Well, no, he didn't do a job at WrestleMania 6. I think he and Roddy Piper battled to a double count-out. I mean, even guys like DiBiase, I believe he lost to Jake Roberts at WrestleMania 6. So you'd think if you were going to have a hot world champion coming out of WrestleMania 6, you'd want to have a slew of top contenders, white hot and ready to go, to work with Warrior in 1990, and they did not have that.
Continue on Crittenden Drive for 1.5 miles.
Okay, I think that now that you mention it, stop at the gas station. I think now that you mention it, I believe that the feuds that he had with Ravishing Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, all that should have probably been before the Hulk Hogan situation, because once the Hulk Hogan situation came up, there was nothing else made sense or mattered. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that's the point I'm going back to. He just worked almost a whole year's worth of feud with Rick Rude in 1989. Why would the fans want to see it again in 1990?
Right.
Other than Rick Rude getting a haircut, there was nothing new to it. I mean, even earlier in what would have been leading into WrestleMania 6, he feuded with Earthquake and Dino Bravo. I mean, Earthquake could have been a guy that could have been a hot heel for him. I know they were saving Earthquake for Hogan in that program, and they weren't going to tinker with that, but they really had no hot heel ready for Warrior to work with. I don't think any fan was going crazy to see him and Rude again after they just saw it a year before. And I think that was unfair to him.
Right.
And I'm not the world's biggest Ultimate Warrior fan.
It was something that made me think hot and heavy after I saw it, because okay, we got to go to commercial right now.
All right, wrestling
5
fans,
minutes.
you heard it from us. We're going to take a brief timeout. We'll be back with more Wrestling Insider's Monday Night Mission. Stand by.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
At Night of Champions 2020, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns successfully defended the WWE Universal Championship against his cousin, Jey Uso, in a must-see battle. Here is your chance to own a piece of Roman Reigns' moments before battle on this beautiful limited edition autographed 11x14 poster, direct from friends at WWE. It's number 19 of only 50 made. Includes WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself, suitable for framing and matting. You'll also receive a bonus Legends autographed 8x10 photo in an on-air shout-out on Wrestling Insiders as our thanks for helping keep Wrestling Legends working. Get this ultra-rare Roman Reigns autograph poster now.
Cheer! Why, hello! I would ask what was on your mind, but I already know. You want to know what has got my beard looking oh so majestic. And I'll tell you, it's sexy as hell beard care. Coconut oil, vitamin E oil, almond oil, both sweet and bitter, shea butter, it's all natural. Yes, JTG has actually come out with a high quality product. So support your boy by going to sahbeardcare.com and take one step closer to becoming sexy as hell. Cheer. Ooh, cheer. You know?
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to Oscar's Monday Night Mission. He had a very urgent phone call from President Reese out in the 619, San Diego, California. Are you at liberty to discuss what you and the president's call was all about?
He don't know. He's going back to his
Well, all right. I guess we'll have to wait to
right
see
now.
what David
He'll
Reese...
get back to it.
What Reese is up to. Well, we were talking about the Ultimate Warrior biography on A&E, how WWF did him a disservice by really not having much in the way of heels lined up for him to work. What else did you take away from the documentary? I haven't seen it yet. I'm interested to see all of them.
Well, I took away from it. They did discuss.
They did the what?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. What was it?
Discuss. This is where the question of whether or not big as Hulk Hogan at the time. This is where the question come in at. They discussed, and he basically stuck Vince up for $500,000.
Oh, at the SummerSlam 1991.
To pay me $500,000, or I'm not coming. I'm as big or even bigger, and I deserve $500,000. Or guess what? I'm not coming.
Well, you know what? I think Vince was smart to get the advertised match in the ring, and then I think he was smart to get rid of him. He couldn't. How do you trust him? How do you trust him at that point?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, because I mean, if you,
well,
he's gonna want a glass of milk. So if Vince had to go ahead and win for that and pay them,
well, you
$100,000 for that pay-per-view.
What was that now?
Now I'm saying, well,
you're breaking up every other word, Oscar. For Christ's sakes, every week.
Hold on. Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Much better. All right. Now, what were you saying now about that SummerSlam 91 hold up?
He basically held Vince up. Pay me $500,000 or I'm not coming.
Right.
So, give a mouse a cookie, he's gonna want a glass of milk. Saying if Vince had, he would have been obliged to try that every time. I mean, every time he went to the ring, baby.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, it would have been a... I was surprised that... I know WWF had the need in 92 when Hogan was going to go ta-ta for a while as the steroid allegations were breaking, but who was another one of the poster boys for steroids at that era?
Well, okay, let me... If Lex Luger came yet, but he definitely was one when he got there.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean,
when I arrived in '93, it was
a whole new world, so to speak.
Because the trial was still going on.
It hadn't even begun yet.
Yeah, the media was every house show, every pay-per-view, asking us, no comment. And, I did make a comment. They were like...
Well, you continue to break up, Oscar. Are you in the car right now?
Yeah, I'm in the car. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Hey, I said fried chicken and kept walking. So, that local media, national media, they was eating it up, and it was a really. Hello?
Yeah, Oscar, like I said, you keep breaking in and out, brother. I'm sure you're making excellent points.
Hello?
Yes,
How about now?
I can hear you crystal clear right now. So
That was a really, really hot button issue, which led to in Titan Sports as it was at that time.
And there was a lot of testing going on at that time.
Week, maybe twice a week, we had you got suspended.
Now, did you ever get suspended for a steroid failure? No. Now, do you think were Mo and Mabel ever on the gas that you knew of?
No, they won't.
No. No, they really didn't need it with the way they worked and with their size and with their gimmick.
But Mabel got fined for other reasons because there were other things that were.
There were other things in showing up in his system.
Yeah.
What was showing up in his system?
And
you faded out again. Unbelievable. Just as we get into the juice.
Marijuana.
Well, I mean, marijuana, that was kind of almost shrug your shoulders. They almost had to find you. I think even now it's only $1,000 if you get popped for it.
Yeah, it was much more. It was much more at that time.
Oh, it was more back then.
All the time.
Well, do you think when Reese opens his gentleman's club, he's going to test his women?
I mean, no. Matter of fact, he's not going to test them. He's going to give them more.
He's going to give them more? Whoa. What do you mean he's going to give them more? Give them more what?
Whatever.
Reese is going to try and get the women high?
Yeah, it takes away the inhibitions.
Oh, well, all right. Now, what kind of drugs do you think that these strippers need at Reese's Pieces?
I have no idea.
Well, you're the VP of Reese's Pieces, from what I understand. Not only in Las Vegas, but now that you're making the move to Atlanta, I think we're gonna franchise them.
That I was allowed to go to the strip club for half an hour, so I didn't make it.
You told the story, but if you're there on business, I don't know how Mimi can deny you.
Yeah, she can't. She no, I can't. I can't go nowhere.
Well, again, I think I lost you for a moment, Oscar. We've got to get into a position where we can keep you in one place at one time when we do these interviews.
Okay, how about now?
You sound great in the moment until you go another 10 feet.
Okay, well, wait a minute. What was that? I said a half an hour. What was it?
We were talking about Mabel being popped for the marijuana violations.
No, at the strip club with the Godfather.
Oh, that's right, at the strip club. Right, the half an hour. Mimi said you had to
not even time to go through the doors.
Mimi said you had to come back and enjoy the first-class amenities at the Gold Coast Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Enjoy the first-class amenities at the Gold Coast.
Oh, God, those pieces were probably rolling around the floor since the 70s, but that's a different story for a different time. We are looking forward to our return to Sin City in September for the, I don't even know what number anniversary it is now due to the virus, but the 50-some-odd anniversary of the Cauliflower Alley Club.
I'm looking forward to it, but I'm gonna tell you this. All jokes aside,
I'm waiting.
You waiting for what? You're gonna be waiting.
No, I'm waiting for your response. You said you want to know what I'm looking forward to, and I heard nothing.
I know. Are you looking forward to me?
It got cut off again. This is turning into a complete and utter disaster, Oscar.
Okay, how about now?
Now it sounds great. Every time you ask me how about now, it sounds good.
I'm not staying at the Gold Coast.
Where are you going to stay?
I'll be
And you know,
Grand Vacations Club.
well, we're going to miss you at the Gold Coast. Hopefully you can stop by for at least one $7.99 buffet.
You miss me at the Gold Coast, and no, not even for a buffet.
Not even for one buffet.
Buffet.
All right. Well, hopefully the bologna blowout. We'll have some cold cut sandwiches to enjoy on Tuesday night.
Okay, well, there's news on that front too. Are you at the bologna blowout?
Yeah.
Steakhouse in the back, in the corner, in the cut. That's where I'll be.
So you're going to blow off the bologna blowout to go have steak?
I'm not gonna blow off the blowout, but I will be blowing off the lame.
Well, maybe you could have a turkey sandwich and then go for a steak.
If I have a turkey sandwich, I stay true to myself and get the steak.
Now, are you going to go down to the TGI Fridays at all?
TGI Fridays is good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, no, I'm a connoisseur of TGI Fridays, no matter what day of the week.
The saving graces of being at the Gold Coast.
It's one of
they got a TGI Fridays and a sub.
Now, what about the first-class pool that they have there, Oscar? Will you attempt to swim at the Gold Coast?
With the pool.
What's wrong with the pool at the Gold Coast?
No, I said I don't have a.
You don't have a problem with the pool?
I've ever seen, but there's nothing wrong with it.
All right, well, hopefully you and Mimi can enjoy a day at the pool at the Gold Coast.
We did. No, we had a good time at the pool last time.
And then you went back and enjoyed the first-class amenities in your room.
Yeah, then the first-class amenities in my room. Right. Reality.
All right, Oscar, what else do we have cooking in the world of professional wrestling? We have the Ultimate Warrior A&E biography. I would like to see it. I think as far as the Warriors run as the world champion, they did him a disservice by not having a slew of hot challenges for him to work with, but it is what it is. I mean, you can't go back and rewrite history, but he was not a box office success by any stretch of the imagination, and he had a much shorter than planned run where he wound up losing the title to Bob Remus, Sergeant Slaughter, at Royal Rumble 1991, where the Sergeant Slaughter won a purple championship belt.
Yeah,
yeah. And
why you will put? I could understand why against the Ultimate Warrior and like that. I don't necessarily agree how that was done.
Well, if it was you with the magic pencil, who would you have had him work at WrestleMania 7? Would you have had him work Macho Man as he did? Maybe a title versus retirement match type stipulation where Randy's career was on the line, but at that point it was career versus career.
You know, the say that is because, you know, I mean, he even admitted Hogan match and he won. You know, he had to ask himself, what's next?
Well, that was his moment in the sun. It wasn't going to get any bigger than that.
No, it was no. Macho Man Randy Savage told me when I first came in, let them build you up. That takes years.
Right.
Because the fact of the matter is, once you get to a pinnacle, to do except go away.
Well, they did build him up for 3 years. He debuted in the summer of 1987 as the Dingo Warrior, coming in from World Class down in Texas. There wasn't, he just, at the end of the day, he wasn't very good. He had great charisma. He had great colors and promos that were off the charts as far as at least being out of this world in a unique way, but his wrestling wasn't very good. There were very few guys that could get a quality match out of him. I don't know. Was he world champion material at the end of the day?
This is without me getting any heat, so I'm not going to mention no name. See today, besides their in-ring presence, their promo cutting, and their character, how many people do you see who are really any good?
Well, I think right now the WWE Championship picture is pretty good. I like the fact that both Roman and Bobby are the champions on their respective brands. I think they're both credible. I think Bobby lacks. I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
No. What I'm talking about. Okay, Roman Reigns is an exception. He comes from a that can work. I'm talking about the other people who rely on repeatedly, but they're still on top, making millions of dollars and are the top guy.
Well, who are you talking about?
I'm not gonna mention no names because I don't want to draw no heat. But use your imagination.
Well, you know me. I'd probably say it. I just don't know who you're referring to.
Oh man, come on. How many moves does John Cena?
Well, I mean, tell me this. John Cena, people say, yeah, he has a limited moveset and so on and so forth, but, it was a little rough around the edges the first few years for John, but tell me what bad matches John Cena had during his big run.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not talking about John Cena.
I'm talking about John Cena is no Chris Benoit.
No, they're different style worker, that's for sure.
No. It's not a matter of different styles. It's a matter of guys guys that have a vast pool and guys who are on top that do not.
So you're saying Cena had a limited move set?
Yeah, he got a limited move. Brock Lesnar got.
Oscar, you keep breaking up, brother.
Brock Lesnar got 3 moves: a German suplex, a F.
Well, I mean, they work. I mean, who's more over than Lesnar when he's in on a regular basis?
The fact he's over, but the fact is he's over with what? Lesnar got.
That's all he needs is those few moves, though. It works. Warrior was blown up by the time he got to the ring. He was so gassed up. That's why he died of a heart attack in his 50s.
That's the reason why the whole thing with the Ultimate Warrior didn't matter.
You think even with his limited ability, his charisma carried him? It didn't make a difference.
Yeah, the same way a whole bunch of guys that are making the most money in the business right but they live their contracts. A limited number of moves, but a great personality, a great character.
Well, I still want to know who you mean so I can figure out if I agree or disagree.
Okay, let's take The Rock, for instance. How many moves does he have?
The Rock? The Rock hasn't had a... Who? Are you talking about The Rock, Dwayne Johnson? Who?
You heard what I said.
You keep breaking up. I can't understand what you're saying.
Johnson?
Johnson?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I think he was a guy that in his peak, he worked very smart. I think maybe if you look back at his Rocky Maivia days in late 1996, early 1997, he tried to be more versatile, but he found out that he was going to be his most over with just his personality. That's what carried him. He didn't need to do a lot of big moves and things like that. Could he have done more? I think so. Would I consider him the world's greatest worker? No, but I think he worked very smart. I don't think he had, when you look back at the history of WWE, outside of a few exceptions with someone like a Steve Austin or a Triple H, I don't think The Rock had too many classics unless he was in there with a guy that was going to go out of their way to make him look like $1 million, like a Mankind who took some severe beatings from the man to try and get him over strong. But with Rock, it was a verbal game. His moveset, he did what he did. He was fine. I don't think he ever was really in a position to have bad matches. I just don't think he had too many classics where he wasn't in there with a guy like at WrestleMania with Austin or some of those battles he had with Mankind when he was a heel after he had breast surgery to remove his breasts, and he had to wrestle in a T-shirt for a few months back in late 1998 into 1999.
Not making. You got a bunch of guys that don't have to have a big in-ring. Their character carries them over to superstardom, and
no, sure, I understand the point you're trying to make exactly. I just think with Warrior, everything with him was the entrance, and then there was nothing. He was blown up by the time he got to the ring. He ran, he shook the ropes, and then he was done. He was gassed. It was almost like when Mason Tibb would come down to the studio. Mason Tibb.
Who the hell is Mason Tibb?
You don't know Mason Tibb? He was one of the interns down here at the studio. He made his way in. He got through the door and he was blown up. He put on DuckTales, and that was about it.
Oh, God. I'm supposed to know who that is.
No, I mean, the Warrior found great success with great limitations, I guess is the best way to put it. He was very difficult to do business with. After his first run, his other two runs were extremely short due to first the steroid issue, and then the second time trying to no-show because the company wouldn't buy his comic books. That DVD that WWF put out about him, The Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, I don't know if that was highlighted in the A&E the A&E biography, I should say, but that was a hit piece and a half where they destroyed the man's reputation. But at the end of the day, they were able to make peace. He came back to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then 3 days later, he was dead. It's quite a unique story.
Yeah, no, it is. All right, last piece of business and the most important.
All right, what do we got?
Sure, are we going to be able to get our comp tickets, or because of the limited seating capacity, are they really?
I only understood half of that, and the part I did understand is, honestly, I don't know. I haven't had conversations with them about it yet. My hope is yes.
Are you looking forward to them coming to Boston?
I don't know if they are coming to Boston. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen it announced on any schedule as of yet. SummerSlam is not going to be here. It looks like it's going to be at the 60,000+ seat home of the Las Vegas Raiders, just a few weeks before the CAC.
Would you go? Are you going to that? Would you go to that?
Where it's so close to the CAC, as much as I love Las Vegas, to fly back and forth to Vegas twice in less than a month, I'm not 100% sure yet, I guess is the best way to put it. If Reese's Pieces is open, and and there's other entertainment alternatives that week, that may push me over the edge.
All right, we'll have to.
But I'm not total. I'm not against. I'm not against it yet, but I'm not officially sold on it yet. What about you?
Hello?
Yes, what about you?
I know I'm not.
And you completely broke up. I have no idea what you said.
SummerSlam in Vegas might just be a better time than going to see.
You'd rather go to SummerSlam than the CAC?
Oh, I don't know. I doubt it, but it's a thought.
Oscar, I'd be ashamed of you. Think of the great shows we can tape together in Vegas.
No, I mean, we're more likely.
We need you at the CAC.
But I do believe a SummerSlam in Vegas will be a good time.
I do too, but it's a one-night thing. The CAC, you know, it's days of activities, days of action, days of pieces.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I'll see you at CAC.
All right, well.
But anyway, I'm going to continue down the road. Wrestling fans, enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Raw. And we're going to see you. We're going to be off next Monday's Memorial Day.
Why are we going to be off next week?
Because it's Memorial Day.
No, we don't take days off. Memorial Day is the kickoff to our Summer of 7. And you want to take the day off?
Memorial Day off. I want to take this up with Dr. Reese. What are you doing?
Well, we can always pre-tape it. We don't have to tape it on Monday.
Okay, we're not off Memorial Day. We're going to see you guys next Monday. Thank you.
Next Monday night at 7 o'clock, the Summer of 7 begins. All of our Wrestling Insider programs, 7 days a week, are going to start to premiere at 7 p.m. We're going to see if being a pregame show is better than a postgame show. Sometimes Raw can be a long 3 hours, and, you know, Dynamite and NXT and SmackDown. So instead of being on after those shows, we're going to premiere at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We look forward to it. For my partner in crime, Oscar, share your thoughts in the premiere chat we're having right now. Don't forget the Super Chat button is open for business, along with eBay and Patreon and all of those tremendous links we have in the comment section below. For Oscar, who is getting ready to move from northwestern Indiana down to Hotlanta, I'm Dan Marati. We'll see you next Monday night at 7 p.m. for Oscar's Wrestling Insiders Monday Night Mission. Good night. The World Wrestling Federation was live at the Anaheim Convention Center in Anaheim, California, Thursday, May the 24th, 1990. In the opening contest, Paul Roma beat Playboy Buddy Rose. Dino Bravo with the win over the Red Rooster. The Barbarian defeated Superfly Jimmy Snuka. The Bushwhackers victorious over Rhythm and Blues via disqualification. Al Perez beat Jim Brunzell. The Big Boss Man with the win over $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. And in the main event, WWF World Champion The Ultimate Warrior retained the title over WWF Intercontinental Champion Mr. Perfect. If you were in Anaheim live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our world-renowned Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston Wrestling Sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.